Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Much appreciated you guys checking today's video out. And today we are going to go over the comeback of the wing topwater. This is the wing topwater. Lots of different ones out there on the market. They've been around forever. And I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice on when to fish them. This is one of the best times of year to fish them, and how they have really come on to be sort of like a secret bait amongst the smallmouth anglers in the summer up north. So not only for that, but for largemouth too. So we'll get into that. Real quick, I want to just address one question we've had a lot of comments on about the Blockhead old school 3/8 ounce jig. We got them coming in next week. We got a big shipment of them coming in from all the tires across the area here. But I know a lot of guys have been requesting the 3/8 ounce model. Have them in next week. I'll include the link in the description and you can place your orders for them there. Much appreciated with that. Okay guys, these wing topwaters, man, they've been around for a long time. I remember a couple friends of mine when I was in high school, at Parkwood High School in Joplin, Missouri, back in the mid and late 70s. A couple buddies of mine that their parents had a trailer house on Grand Lake, and they always told me about these big strings of fish they caught on crazy crawlers down at Grand Lake in the summertime. And a crazy crawler, if you haven't seen it, it's a wing topwater. It looks like a little peanut with two wings on it like this, and the thing just sort of crawls back and forth, sort of like a jitterbug or something. And they always told me about this, and finally they took me down there, and you just can't believe how many good fish we caught fishing these crazy crawlers around the shade of the willow trees down there. And ever since then, I've used these wing topwaters situationally. But in the advent of the new technology of them, this Megabass iWing 135, this has sort of brought them back to life from the old crazy crawlers and that type of stuff. So anyway, what you got here, guys, this is the Megabass iWing 135. This is one of the most unique baits I've ever seen, and it's one of those baits that has a cult following amongst the anglers. You can probably see a couple videos on it on the Megabass website. This is pretty heavy bait. It's about 1 ounce and 5/8. It's about 5 inches long, casts like a mile. And this thing, it just goes through the water, sort of goes back and forth like that. And you can reel it either real slow and it just does like a just a little gurgle, or you can burn this thing across the water and it looks like a bird trying to escape. You can actually buzz it like a Whopper Plopper, and it just goes crazy across the surface. It doesn't roll on the side, it runs perfectly straight like that. So there's a couple different situations with this. The iWing 135 and the bigger wing topwaters like this, initially they were for fishing around cover, just like I talked about, around the willow trees, around shade. A lot of the old timers used to float creeks and rivers around here in Missouri, and they'd throw them up underneath overhanging trees like that. But the comeback with this wing topwater has been in the summertime and the early fall, buzzing them fast for big smallmouth. A lot of guys are taking them up north and they're getting across those main lake flats on those northern lakes in the super clear water, and they get a day where there's not much wind and they start burning this thing across the surface, and those big giant 4 to 6 pound smallmouth will just come up out of nowhere and just annihilate this thing. This has been like a sort of a under the radar secret bait with that. But like I said, I have found in my own personal experience that this type of a lure category is better if you have water temperatures over 80 degrees. And there's just a lot of different ways to fish them. I mean, like I said, if you like to fish them around shade and shallow cover, you can do that. If you want to fish them out over open water, you can do that. I've done really good on this iWing 135 at Table Rock in late summer, early and late in the day, getting like on those flat main gravel points and just fan casting this thing across the main gravel points, and it brings them up just like a Whopper Plopper. If you're on a Whopper Plopper bite and you're catching fish on a Whopper Plopper, you can take that, like the wing topwater like this iWing 135, and you can come behind the same water you'd fish with a Whopper Plopper and probably get more bites on this thing than the plopper, simply because it's an action and a sound that the bass don't ever hear. And like I said, take advantage of it, guys, before it gets out. It's just a matter of time before this thing starts getting out or a lot of people are going to start using it. Most of the time on this thing, since it's so heavy, I'm fishing it on like 20 pound test Seaguar fluorocarbon line, at least a 7-foot 2-inch medium heavy bait casting rod. I use that Megabass Perfect pitch on it, and like I said, I've been the best on it, buzzing the thing hard across the surface. But not only with the iWing 135, but Guys, don't hesitate to get in there and get you some of those old hidden crazy crawlers. That crazy crawler's been around forever. I have witnessed it, like I said, catching lots of good fish. And if you got a lake out there that has lots of overhanging trees that create shade, that's a really good time to fish it. So anyway, guys, just a quick video here on the wing topwater. You don't hear much about it anymore. It's something you definitely want to include in your arsenal. It'll catch you good ones. You know, not many people fish the thing. And that's the big key anymore to catching fish is this. You got to do something different from what everyone else is doing. So anyway, I hope it helps you guys catch a few more fish. Like I said, I'll include the link in the description. I think Baitworks has got these up at the store. I'll include the link there. You guys can order them through that. Much appreciated, and we'll talk later. See you.